Hi everybody, welcome to today's video. If you're new here, my name is Tiana, and if you're returning, it is so nice to see you again. Today, I want to share with you all of the items that I currently have in my collection that I have hit pan on, that I have really good usage on, where you can see like windowing or really good usage through the product. I wanted to do this to kind of show you what like an everyday makeup collection looks like or could look like if you're trying to size your makeup collection down. But I just thought it'd be fun to kind of go through the items that I do have pan on or a really good usage on. So let's get right into this video. So there's no particular order here because I threw it all in my little bag. So I'm just gonna kind of pull things out. We're gonna talk about the items and how the usage is going. The very first item is the Laura Mercier setting powder. I have a pretty good usage on this. I am like almost halfway through. At the beginning of April, I do want to put like a little line on it just to kind of mark where I am. But this one is going. It's slowly but surely because I don't use a lot of it, but it is being worked on. So I'm glad that we are about halfway through and I'm able to see some type of like clearness in the sides of it. This is a newer item for me. It is from Sephora. It is their Fluff and Fix brow wax, and I don't know if you're going to be able to tell very much on camera, but in the clear part you're able to start seeing where there's a lot of windowing. I really like this, and I will pick this up again. I feel like Sephora for their brow products are really good. I didn't care much for the tinted versions. I feel like my brows, they're pretty thick and very dark as is. Like I don't need a lot for my brows, so I find their products work really well. But yeah, this one here I have pretty good usage on, and I'm able to start seeing the usage through the packaging there. So I wanted to include this as well because I can see some usage every time that I use it through the packaging. So the next item is my Rimmel concealer. Now some of these have been like sitting in my bag for a couple days because I haven't filmed this. But typically I'm able to start seeing like windowing around this concealer. Honestly, I did mark it last year that I was like at the top of this blue line, but every single time that I use this concealer I have to go down to the bottom and scrape around it, and anytime that I start scraping around I can start see windowing. So this is my like favorite everyday concealer, so I know I'm gonna have to get a new one soon because I would probably say that I'm like down to here on it. So this I'll be sad once it's gone, but then I can get like a fresh one in time for summer. This one's hard to say that you've hit pan on it until you start to see like the rings on the inside, but this is the Merit blush in the shade Cheeky, and I have used like almost the whole top of it where it's almost getting really flat. Now there is a ton of product under here, and then you kind of have like a pinwheel where there's like little tabs. So that is kind of when I would say like officially hit pan. But as of right now, I've used almost that whole dome to the point where I'm not saying like next month it'll be flat, but this one here, definitely if I threw it in a project pan, like it would get flat fairly quickly. So this here, I consider that to be like a really good usage tool because I had one of these in terracotta because it was orange. It took me so long to use, but I feel like this one here is going a little bit more quickly because it's a color that I really like. I threw it in my project pan for a usage goal for 4 times and I hit that goal. I really liked it. I love to use that blush, especially on days where I don't want to wear a lot of makeup. Speaking of brows, this is the Sephora brow pencil that I use. It's in the shade 11, and I have repurchased this so many times. I have a spoolie on this end, and then here is the actual brow product, and I only have this much left of it. I wanted to include this because I have a feeling that during the Sephora VIB sale, I'm going to pick up like another 1 or 2. Those I fly through. Like these I repurchase time and time again. I really like it. It's waterproof. It's their retractable brow pencils. If you need a retractable brow pencil, take a look at the Sephora ones. And then the next item that I have is the e.l.f. Halo Glow. So this one is going to be hard to see because I have to put it in the right light to see, but I'm able to start seeing the top here being really empty. I don't think you're going to be able to see it through the screen, but I am like empty from here to like the middle of the e.l.f. wording, even below that little line. I have about this much product left, which in the summer isn't bad because I have a feeling I'm going to just start to use this as a body glow because I would like to get some more staple highlighters in my collection. I have a Haus Labs one that I really, really like and it's so pretty. It'll be perfect for the summer, but then I do want to get something that's a little bit lighter because that other one's pink. So anyway, I have this one here. I'd really like to just use this up, finish it. I even took the sponge off, so whenever I use it I just take a little bit on my finger and I apply it, but this I could see me using as a body glow just so I could kind of roll it out of my collection. It's not bad, but it's not my favorite. And then speaking of highlighters, this kind of works out perfectly. This is the Cheeky Claymate Face Palette from Tarte, and here is the highlighter. I have a huge pan on it. This I mostly started using last year, and I used it again as like a little like body glow in the summer, and that's how I got a lot of pan on it. This is not my favorite highlighter. I don't find it sits well on the skin. While it looks really nice and I can use it, it's just not my favorite. So this is more of like when I do makeup and I'm at home, or I know I'm not going to be wearing it for a long time because it can separate. This one here I find it's kind of like a fallout glittery type of situation, and it's kind of drier. But anyway, this I like to use more as like a body glow in the summer. So I have a feeling if one of these got rolled into my project pan, I would just say, okay, the goal is to just use it up as a body glow, focus on one or the other as a regular highlight. Then I can update my highlighter collection with something newer, fresher, and something that I enjoy, because the only one that I enjoy right now is the Haus Labs one, but it's pink. So sometimes that doesn't go with what I'm wanting, and I want a lighter color, but the two options that I have are not like my favorite, but they're still usable, so I don't want to get rid of them. Anyway, let's go on to the next product. So the next item is my foundation. Now, like I said, these have been kind of sitting in my makeup bag, so I'm not going to be able to show you the windowing, which sucks. But anyway, I am about at the word lasting. This is my only foundation, and I have had this now for like 2 months. So I'm making really good progress on this one. I have been mixing this with a concealer just to kind of lighten the shade down. This is the lightest shade that they have in my drugstore. It is in 50 Fair Porcelain. I wish they had one more shade lighter, but anyway, this one here I've just been mixing with my Too Faced concealer, and it's been working okay. This is like a really good shade for me in the summer, so I don't want to go buy myself a new foundation shade because we're going into April. May, June, we're going to start being outside, so this is going to work perfectly for then, and I'm able to kind of get use out of my concealer as well while still using the foundation. So I feel like for right now it's all okay, and like to have this much use on a foundation that's 2 months old, I feel like we're doing pretty good. The next item's an item I don't like. It's the Stay All Night Microfine Setting Mist. Here she is. This is how much use I have on her. I don't like it. I have been trying to use it in different ways, and it's just not my favorite. So of course I would use this as a regular setting spray, but it's just not my favorite. I would use it on days where I wasn't wearing any skincare. It would just make my skin really tight and dry. One way I would also use it is I would spray it on like an eyeliner brush, and then I would use a little bit of black eyeshadow and do some eyeliner. That would work, but again, I'm not using like a ton of it. And then another way I would use it is like to dampen my beauty sponge if I couldn't go into the washroom to wet it. So anyway, this here, not my favorite. I'm still trying to really use it. Once I find a setting spray that works for me, I am just going to give it to like one of my sisters. But right now, this is not my favorite, but I'm still getting use out of it. I'm not just letting it sit there. I even used it today. My hair's a little staticky, and I just kind of put some on my hair to like keep it down. However I can use it, I will. We don't like to waste product here. So any way I can use it, I will. The next item is the Rimmel Stay Matte Powder. This one here has a really big dip in it. This will be one that I start to use more in the summer. This because it's mattifying and it's winter right now. I don't use it in the winter because with my skin in the winter it's just dry. And because this is mattifying, I don't need mattifying. But on days where maybe I'm a little bit more oily, I can throw this on. This will work really good for me in the spring and the summer. So I know I'll be able to whip through that in the spring and summer. I used up a whole one of them one summer, so it's a repurchase for me. I know I'll be able to use it. The next item is my little Essence lip pencil, and if you watch my Project Pan, it is in there. This one, I can't remember. I think this is in the shade Legend or Legendary. This is their soft and precise line. I don't think it's precise and I don't find them soft. I find that they're kind of hard to use. They're not precise in my opinion. They're not long lasting either. So I'm really trying to just use this one up so I can roll it out of my collection and then start bringing in a couple of other colors that I like more than that and formulas that I like more than that and formulas that last longer than that one. The next one here is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Beauty Wand. Again, a product in my Project Pan. Sometimes I can see windowing on this and sometimes I can't, but we are getting really close to being able to push down the tube. And I don't think you're going to be able to see windowing today because of how it was sitting in my makeup bag. But this is one that I do have progress on. And I am just trying to use up so I can roll it out of my collection. It is not my favorite shade. It is not my favorite formula. And I really, really don't like the applicator. I'm constantly having to clean it. Not my favorite. So anyway, I'm really, really trying to use this, but because I'm so pale, it's so hard to use. And if I were to keep this for the summer, I'd get annoyed because I would even use it in the summer last year. And I just found for myself, it was just too orange. And sometimes it's hard to blend out. So not my favorite. It's in my Project Pan. We're using it up. And hopefully it can go quite soon. The next item is my NARS blush. Now this one I am really happy with. Here is how we are doing. Again, another Project Pan item. The powder is getting so thin. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, but it's funny because there was a point where it was like there was no progress, no progress, no progress, and now the pan, every time I use it, it expands and the powder is getting thinner and thinner. Again, once a month I do have to kind of go and clean up around it because it does get hard pan really easy. I am also finding that the color of this is just getting so fine. Like it's so hard to even see on my skin tone, and I'm pretty pale, so I do have to use quite a bit of this to even get like color payoff. So anyway, we are slowly but surely getting there. This is one that I could see myself finishing this year. At what point, I don't know. I could see myself in the summer getting so tired of this blush that I start to use it as eyeshadow just to start to really use it, or because of how sheer it is and it's mostly just glowy at this point. Like it's not even like pink. Like it might look pink, but it's not like totally pink. Maybe I could try and use this too, like on my chest when I'm wearing like sundresses or something as like a body highlight. So anyway, I could see myself totally playing around with this in the summer just to try and finish it to roll it out of my collection. But as of right now, we've got a really big pan and I feel like we're doing really well. One more product and then I have 3 palettes that I'm going to show you. So this one here is my Anastasia Beverly Hills lip gloss, and when it's settled, you can see there's some windowing, but when it's settled, it's right to here. I've used up like this much of it, and I'm really happy about that because I remember purchasing these 2 last year. So these are a little over a year old now. They're going on about a year and a half, and I really want to use them. They're so beautiful, but I'm really trying to work through other lip products in my collection first. But with all that being said, I have good usage on this lip gloss. I have 3 palettes here. We're going to talk about one because I don't know if it's cheating or not. The Going Coconuts palette is in my Pan That palette series. So I ended up taking this shade out right here in the shade Palm reader. I think that's what it is. Anyway, I took the white one out and I ended up mixing it with a lotion that I had. And I tried to use it as like a body glow lotion. The shade in there was getting really, really crumbly and I just wanted to try it just to see. And it didn't end up working out really well. But anyway, I do have one shade from here that I have used and finished and decluttered it. I do have another ColourPop palette, the It's My Pleasure one, but one of the shades did fall out. So I don't feel like I hit pan on it or I emptied it, where this one here, I kind of feel like I did because I did try something. So anyway, I don't know if this is just like a cheating thing at this point where it's like I used it up in a different way. I don't know. If you consider me using this in a different way cheating, that's fine. It's not that big of a deal, but I did use one eyeshadow up in some type of way. And then this one here, I have pan on. Again, this one is in my like Project Pan slash Pan That palette. I do have really good usage on this one here. I am more than halfway done. So I am really hoping to finish this shade soon so I can roll it out of my collection so that we can focus on this palette and the It's My Pleasure palette. And then in my Tati Beauty palette, I do actually have pan. I used to use the glitters as nail polish toppers, which I almost feel like I should get back into. Actually, these might work with some of my nail polishes that I'm not the biggest fan of. I'll have to play around with that. But anyway, I did hit pan in quite a few of my glitter shades. I'm pretty sure you can kind of see in this pink one here, this one here, and I think I'm really close, or I did hit pan here. So in the glitter shades, I did hit pan. I kind of want to play around with these a little more too with two of my polishes that I'm not like the biggest fan of to see if I can get them to work. Like I think this one here with my really, really light blue polish might help it. I'm not sure. But anyway, I ended up hitting pan on a couple of the glitter shades in here, and I'm kind of proud of myself for that, for using the palettes in different ways and actually getting like use out of them and not just letting them go bad. So those are all the items in my collection that I have hit pan on or have like windowing or really good visible progress. The other makeup item that I could have included in here was my primer, but because the packaging isn't see-through, I can't really show you that, but I do have a really good progress on my Merit primer because I only have one. And with my Sephora mascara, I only have one mascara, so if the packaging was like see-through or any way for me to show you, there would probably be a lot of usage on those two items. But I wanted to just kind of keep this video to like the visual items that you could actually see there be like usage on the products. So if you want to see how these products end up, if I end up using them all, hitting pan, expanding pans, make sure to subscribe. I do a lot of Project Pan, so you'll see them floating around in there. I do a lot of empties videos, and if you want me to come back in a few months and kind of update on how these items are doing, and maybe even new items can be added in here, let me know. Let me know in the comments down below if you have a product that you have really good usage on, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.